Good morning. It is 8:38 and I am struggling through my prep period. I'm struggling because I just continue to be frustrated by the decision. One of the reasons, I don't think I've said this because some of you may not know why I'm so opposed to it, is this class, like I said, this particular UA class period is comprised of kids that are coming from all different classes. It's not graded. It cannot be based on core curriculum. There is no curriculum provided. So it's just an hour where you're told to like figure out something to do with this group of kids that are at this level based on their iReady score that you only have for an hour, where they know and you know it's not graded. So they technically don't always put forth their best effort because there is no real repercussion from it. So that's one of the reasons. So I'm struggling to continue to work when I'm feeling totally unheard at the moment. So I'm grading right now, but I am going to share with you very quickly like what I am going to do for the day. So yesterday in history we talked about the duality of Thomas Jefferson, and so today we're going to now look at this TED Ed video that I found on the Declaration of Independence, and it is titled, let me open up the link on my plan book, it is titled What You May Not Know About the Declaration of Independence. So it just kind of talks about the history and like some facts as to how that came to be and who wrote it and what was put in it and why were certain things put in it and why were certain things not. And then I created a listening quiz based on the video that they are going to take. So again, I think the way that I find these things is like if I want some sort of media, I will always go to YouTube first and just type in the topic, and you will find that's not what I want, but this was the simplified version of the Declaration of Independence. Here it is. You will usually find what you need, and then once I really started digging into TED Ed, that's like the second place that I will go to. Let's just skip through this commercial. Okay, so here it is. So normally, like I was saying, what I will do when I'm teaching something and I want to bring in some sort of media, I'm going to always go to YouTube, but then also when I discovered TED Ed and all it has to offer, I go to that as well. So this is a video I found.
Not so fast, Mr. Jefferson. These words from the Declaration of Independence and the facts behind them are well known. In June of 1776.
So just kind of goes into what people already know, and then kind of talks about things that people may not know. And then the quiz itself, let me see if I can get there. There we go. So this is just the Google form quiz that is based on it. So I treat these as a listening test. So I feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone, where they are having to practice the skill of listening to some information, taking notes, and being prepared to answer questions based on what they heard, but also like acquiring historical information that I want them to know. So we're going to do that in my homeroom class. We'll also continue to finish plot mapping Sorry Wrong Number. That actually was more challenging than what I anticipated, because the graphic organizer that I am using, let me show it to you, I found it on Teachers Pay Teachers, goes into a little bit more detail than other ones I've used in the past, where they're asked to identify like the protagonist, the antagonist, here it is, protagonist, antagonist, setting, conflict, theme, and then rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, and then kind of analyze the character. So a lot of groups were really struggling yesterday with figuring out who the antagonist was, because if you're familiar with the play, it's basically this woman that is described as being neurotic, and she's on medication to try and manage her stress levels, is home all alone at night, and she's trying to call her husband. And this is set in the 1940s. She's trying to call her husband, and in the process of the operator connecting her or attempting to connect her to her husband, she overhears this conversation between two mysterious men who clearly are plotting a murder. So then, of course, she stops and she goes back to the operator, and she's trying to tell the operator this, and she's trying to get a hold of the police. But because of the way she sounds and because she is neurotic, the operator doesn't really take her super seriously. The police are like, ma'am, it's fine. And then it turns out, we believe in my class, that the murder that she's hearing these two men plot is actually her murder. They're coming to her. And so the other, I don't think I ever shared this, but when I play this, or when we listen to this story selection and they listen to the audio version of the play, I do build background and show them what phone usage looked like in the 1940s and make sure they understand how it could be that a woman is trying to call her husband, but she's hearing another phone call, and why is there this middle person called the operator? So they know all of that. And so yesterday I saw a lot of groups just have a hard time identifying who or what the antagonist was. And so some of them really wanted to pick the two men that were coming to murder her because those are the bad guys. And just having to clarify to them, yeah, they're gonna do the bad thing, but remember, the antagonist is the person or the thing that is preventing the main character from doing what they want to do or accomplishing whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. So I would have to ask each group that was struggling like that, like, what was Mrs. Stevenson trying to do? Like, what was her goal? She was trying to make this phone call to her husband, and then have them really think about what was getting in the way of that. Was it the two men that were plotting the murder that were actually getting in the way of her making that phone call? No, she just happened to overhear them. So it was interesting to see, like, oh, I didn't really think it would be that challenging for them, because they want to equate anyone that's doing something wrong in the story with the antagonist, and that's not necessarily always the case as seen in this play. So we're going to continue that with my homeroom class today. We're going to start it really with my switch class because they're a little bit behind, but I won't get much done today because we have library and we'll be going there, and that takes about an hour. So that's what I'm doing. After school I have a leadership meeting, and it's just going to be interesting to see, like, I'm on that committee just as a representative of the house system that we have in place and kind of being in the loop with that. But it will be interesting to see if there's any conversation had about this decision about UA and whether or not I even choose to say something, because I feel like I've said a lot. The principal has heard me speak on it a couple of times, and I'm sure he's tired of me at this point. But I'm just so passionate about it that I can't help but to just say this is just not the right decision, at least in respect to working with RSP students and what works and what doesn't work for the RSP teacher as well. He is also not thrilled either. So I'm gonna go back to grading, but I am having a hard time, like, just like that is just at the forefront of my mind. So just concentrating and just being on it is just, it's rough. So that's what I'm doing during prep. Talk to you later. It's 3:50 and I'm waiting on Taylor. We gotta come over, film a little something for our fall outfits video, and then I'm gonna leave early. I'm proud of myself. I should have enough time to go home and walk Riley and then go to Orange Theory, which I'm a little nervous about because Tuesday's workout was a lot. Like, I'm better in terms of my physical ability to run and do all that stuff post sciatic injury. But I still feel like I'm not 100%. I'm not like I was before. And so Tuesday just felt rough. And then at Tuesday's workout, we were told, brace yourself, because Thursday's workout is like a preview or a precursor to the Hell Week, which is a workout that makes the one you just finished seem like a warm-up. So I'm a little nervous. Liza's supposed to be there. But I'm gonna get that done. I have cooked, I have leftovers, so I don't have to worry about that, so that's good. But I just finished a site level leadership meeting. We spent a lot of time talking about UA. Not all the teachers, I will say the vast majority, expressed the same concerns. The principal opened it up to, like, how do you feel? What do you think? And I think we're all bothered about the same thing. We all feel unheard as a professional, like our professional input has just been totally disregarded, extremely prematurely. The administrative team says they understand and feel the same way, but feels like there's nothing they can do because this is coming from the district. So the plan is going to go forward as the district thinks it should. And I'm going to continue to work on accepting that. And that's that. So that, and then luckily my mom helped me out. She ordered the pizza for tomorrow's party, the party that has been the most dramatic classroom party ever. They are having pizza from Little Caesars, which also caused some controversy. They are having cheese and pepperoni pizzas. I ordered a total of 9. Most, with the exception of a couple kids, brought in $2. Some kids brought in extra money, which definitely helped make sure we had enough money. And then the RSP teacher that I work with is going to pick it up. So they're gonna go to lunch, and then they're gonna come back from lunch, and then they're gonna have pizza. They're supposed to bring games, and then whatever little side dish that they want to have with it. And I said, now I'm providing the plates, napkins, all that. So if you don't bring your games, then what we're really gonna do is just eat pizza and look at each other, which doesn't sound like a party to me. So hopefully they remember. So that's it, you guys. You know what's validating is that I'm not the only person feeling the way that I feel. And that makes me feel like I'm saying my reaction is normal. So I don't know. I just got really thirsty. So with that, I'm gonna go see what Taylor's doing. Check on her to see how, we had 2 makeup conferences after school as well. I let the parents know ahead of time I wouldn't be able to make these because I had another meeting. And so I communicated with Taylor like anything that I would have shared. So I'm gonna ask her how those went, and then I'm going home. So if you enjoyed today's vlog, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you're not following me on Instagram, head over there. Follow me at Smarty Style. And as always, I hope that you're well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I'll see you tomorrow. It's Friday, so I'll see you then. Bye.